textured hair. Hey, I'm gonna give you a hint. Feel your hair. That's right. That's right. Us, the so-called black and Hispanic, we got woolly hair. Hey, my brother, we out here showing our people who they are according to the Bible. We are the 12 tribes of Israel, the greatest people on the planet. That's what we out here doing, showing our people we are the greatest people. Where do you find yourself on this sign, my brother?
I don't really know too much about it.
Okay, so where would your father be at? Well, what is his nationality?
Judah.
Judah. So you will be from the so-called American blacks, right?
Yeah.
So guess who else is from Judah? The greatest man who walked the planet. Who's that?
That's God.
God, right? But what they call him?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. Who is that?
That's Jesus, man.
That's Jesus.
Right there, right?
You see what I'm saying? But watch this. So that's what they say. But how do the Bible describe Jesus?
Shit.
Let's get it. Watch this. See, that's why we here for.
Like that.
That's why we here. Watch this. The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool. His head and his hairs was white like this. Wool, textured hair. Hey, I'm gonna give you a hint. Feel your hair. That's right. That's right. Us, the so-called blacks and Hispanics, we got woolly hair. Watch this. Keep reading for the old brother. Read. His head and his hairs were white like wool. Guess what? Like you were saying, these people don't have woolly hair like us. Woolly is a curly texture, nappy. That's woolly, what you got on your head. They have long, stringy hair. You see that? So it's describing Christ. But guess what, my brother? It's going to go further into it. Read. As white as snow. As white as snow. So Christ had hair like you, and it was white. And white like this. Read. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. So Christ's eyes was as a flame of fire. Why? Because he drunk. Right, his blue. Why did Christ have eyes as a flame of fire? Because he drunk wine with moderation. He wasn't drunk. He drunk wine moderately. Read. And his feet. And his feet, just like I see your feet with the sound of your feet is the same color of your face, right? Watch this. And his feet like unto fine brass. So his feet was like to fine brass. What color is bread? What color is bread? Then he's going to give you more of a description of what Christ would look like. Read. As if they burned in a furnace. So if you take brown brass and put in the furnace, what color will it going to turn to? Black, right? So it is describing Christ as who? You see that? So what? Hold up with the cross stuff that you're doing. I'm going to tell you about that too. That's something that your enemies gave you then.
That's right.
Get what I'm saying? So you got to be retaught. So Christ would be what? A black man. That's what we telling you. This is not Christ. Right. When you came up, you say, this is Jesus. But the Bible described him as this.
That's right.
And now you got to ask, why do I think Christ looks like this? Why is that?
My whole life, I thought that's how he was looking.
You know why? Give me Matthew 24 and 4. Watch this. 5.
So we basically missed the scripture.
That's right. You didn't have the understanding because your enemy have lied to you.
That's right.
The book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 5.
Bring it up.
For many shall come in my name. The Bible said, this is Christ saying this in red letters. Christ said, you know what? Many people is going to come in my name and do what? Saying, I am Christ. They're going to say, I'm Christ. I'm Christ-like. I'm Christ. Me, white Jesus. Haven't we been deceived? You see that? But that's why we're trying to show you guys to be retaught. You got to remember who you are. Because your enemies have lied to you. And you got to ask yourself, why is we in these conditions? My brother, what's your name?
Travis.
Travis. Why are we in these conditions? Why is we able to get lied to and get white Jesus? 28. Why is it? I'm going to show you something. You heard it, right? But we're going to go in further detail. Watch this. This is why the enemy was able to what? Put us in slavery and give us another Jesus. Read that. 15. 28, 15.
Wait.
What's that?
Damn, I hate when they do that, man. They took us from the land and they brought it to the evil, man.
Watch this. But guess what? Ultimately, they did
We've
it,
been cursed.
but we did it to ourselves. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Watch this, Travis.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So, and we didn't listen to the words of God because the commandments of this Bible was given to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These people on the sign up. The Bible wasn't given to everybody. But through our disobedience of not following, guess what? We disobeyed. Read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Is curses a good thing or a bad thing? Being cursed is a good thing?
No. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. My bad.
It's a bad thing, right? Watch this.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Cursed shall we be well?
In the city.
Who is cursed in the cities? Everywhere you go, who's in the cities in the ghetto?
In the city.
Who?
We
Who? Blacks and Hispanics, right? Would you agree, Travis?
Yeah.
We curse at the city. We got catch buses.
Right.
Hey, we do all that stuff.
That's
We curse.
right.
Watch this. Read.
Cursed shall thou be in the cities, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
You see that? When was we curse in the field? Look on them signs. What we was in the field doing?
We was in them fields getting
Working.
beat, slaved, and we was working hard for the
Picking that cotton?
Yeah.
Watch, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? They really must have the kids out there picking cotton. Soon out the womb. Mama got the kid wrapped in the blanket on the ground while she picking cotton.
That's
That's
right.
him right there.
That's right.
They threw him in a well, fished him back
What?
up just to whoop on.
Who
him.
that
What?
white baby?
I'm showing you that. Guess what? She had to keep that white baby for master while she go run her errand. She was the maid, what you call it, the nanny.
Right.
Read.
Cursed shall thou basket.
No, jump to 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Our sons and daughters was given to another people, right?
Yeah.
Given, coming to one slave plantation, taken away, selling to another one. Yeah, they did that. Watch this. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing.
And your eyes is going to look and fail. When they take your kids, you looking for them. Eyes failing because you crying. They failing with tears coming out your eyes. And what?
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
You said no might in our hand is no power to get our kids back.
That's right.
Jump to 43.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within.
You see that? Moses said, you know what? Them other nations, those white people, those Abraham who came out of Egypt, walked out of Egypt with y'all because they knew that y'all God was the one and true God. Guess what he said? Them other nations over there, what's going to happen?
Shall get above thee very high.
They're going to get above you very high. And what's going to happen to the black and Hispanic?
And thou shalt come down very low.
That's why they in your community setting up stores, right? That's why you got the Chinaman with a gas station. That's why you got the Arabs with a gas station. And you don't see no blacks with a gas station.
That's right.
See that? Cause read, watch this. Read again.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
And you're going to come down very low. Read.
He shall lend to thee.
He's going to lend to you. He's going to give you loans to buy that house that you want, to buy that car,
Right.
and read.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
Do blacks have banks that lend to white people?
Yeah, no.
That's showing you who you are. Read.
He shall be the head.
He's going to be the head. The white man's going to be the hell. He's the one you go get your jars from, right? Right. Read.
And thou shalt be the tail.
You're going to be the tail. You're going to be one at the back. Can I have a jar, sir?
What club was that at? That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Dressed up, look all tight, cut your beard off just to please them so you can get the job, right?
That's right.
You see that? That's a curse, my brother. Watch 46. We're going to hurry up and go through.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So the curse is going to be on all the people for a sign.
And for a wonder.
For a wonder. Why is we always marching in the street? No justice, no peace. Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
And on thy seed forever. On the 12 tribes forever. 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
We're going to serve our friends.
Thine enemies.
We're going to serve our enemies. Therefore, we didn't want to follow our God. We're going to serve our enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord sent them against us because we disobeyed him. Because we disobeyed our God. So he said, you know what? You don't want to listen to me? I know somebody who you going to listen to. And they don't like you. And they ain't gonna never like you. They gonna always make sure you don't get above them. You gonna be stay at the bottom in the slums, in the ghettos, man. Read.
Against thee in hunger.
In hunger, when you need food, who you go to? Read.
And in thirst.
If you don't pay your water bill, who you go to? Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness on your shirts. Where you get those shirts from? Guess what? If it may have Sean John in the front, but you flip the tag, it's made in China. Not your people. Read.
And in want of all things.
In the one of all things, education. What system controls that? The news, where you get it from? Passport, who you get it from? Who do you get it from? Your enemies, man. Read.
And
he, the one that gave you food, water, education, he
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he the one put the yokes of iron on your necks. He the one destroyed you as a race of people. He the one got you out here shooting your people. Read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Now you are mentally destroyed as a race of people.
That's
now you're
right.
destroyed. So he took the yokes of irons off your neck because he knew you didn't know who you are. Now you calling yourself Johnson. Now you calling yourself White. Now you calling all the names that's not yours. You have been destroyed as a people. You don't know that Christ is a black man. Now you think he white. You have been destroyed. So he said, you know what? I can let them go and these niggas gonna kill themselves, man.
That's right.
64.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
And now we've been scattered among all people.
From one end of the earth even unto the other. In there ye shall serve other gods.
They say, and there, once you come here, you're going to serve other gods. We're going to serve other gods. Let's see what type of gods. Read.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Guess what? Our forefathers never known of a white Jesus. But now they serving other gods on Sunday. Read.
That's right. Even wood and stone.
Even what?
Wood and stone.
What does the wood represent? What? No, the wood, the Christian cross. That's the wood, right? That's the wood. No, that's the stone. Christ died on the what?
On the wood.
On wood.
Yeah.
So if your son was to die, Lord, if you had a son and he was to die by a gun, you gonna wear his face on the cross, on the gun?
Bring it out, Art.
Would you do that? Why would you do Christ like that, man?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.